acres, way over there in the distance. She was diving silently down towards a field. A herd of cows bolted away from under her, their tails held high, their hooves kicking up lumps of mud and snow. His plane sank out of sight, over a ridge, and he heard a muffled thud as she hit the earth. The parachute spiraled him round again, and the wind carried him further away from her, swinging him towards some trees. As he pendulumed down towards a spinney, he heard her ammunition begin to fire, a fanfare calling the enemy to muster and search, but as he crashed down through the branches, he heard a crackling explosion. His Messerschmitt had destroyed herself. Chapter 2. Millie Sanger woke with a start. It was dark outside, but she could hear noises coming up from the farmyard. Jack, she thought momentarily, but as she ordered her untethered thoughts, grief thumped in like a blow on a bruise. How many months had to pass before she began to heal? And why, just once, could she not make it to the cowshed before the land girl? Cursing, she pulled her clothes out from under the bedding, still warm from her body, and hauled them on over her pyjamas. She struggled with the buttons. She'd always thought only old people got chilblains, but this morning her fingers itched like hell. Downstairs she tugged on one of her husband's overcoats, pausing momentarily to press her nose into the collar in the hope she might catch the faintest scent of him. There was nothing but the dusty smell of wool. She sighed and wrapped it round her, tying a piece of binder twine several times round her waist and pulling it tight. Struggling to bend, she pulled on her boots, snatched her gloves off the line above the range, and tied a headscarf around her ears before heading out into the darkness. The light from the milking shed seeped out along the base of the blackout baffles. Not a cow in sight. Briggsy had rounded them up into the byres all on her own. Millie stood for a moment, composing herself, fighting down her unreasonable irritation. She ducked into the shed and called out, "Why didn't you wake me?" Briggsy's head popped up over the back of a cow. "I thought you needed your sleep," she said. And that, thought Millie, is the impossibly irritating thing about my darling friend Briggsy. Her intentions are kind, but she makes me feel utterly inadequate. "Thanks, Briggsy," she said. The head disappeared again. Briggsy's voice floated up over the animals into the steamy air. "Mrs. Wilson saw a plane come down last night." "Did she?" Millie said. Her golden Labrador trotted up the shed towards her. The cows shifted and stamped in their byres. He swerved as a cloven hoof lashed out backwards and skittered on, his tail wagging as he trotted. Millie squatted down and pulled gently on the dog's ears, soft as suede. "You'll get such a kick one day, Jip," she whispered, laying a kiss on the top of his head. "Said it didn't make a noise at all," Briggsy was saying. "No flames, nothing. Disappeared over the horizon." "That's good, then." Millie went through to the dairy to collect a clean bucket. "It came down somewhere near Norrington," Briggsy called out. "Over at Manor Farm. Morny Beswick took a gang of his men up there with pitchforks to get the crew." Millie squeezed a path between two cows in the double byre, pressed the stool against her coat, and sat. "Good old Morny," she said. The milk whined into the empty bucket, the sound growing lush and deep as it filled. "It must have blown up when it hit the ground," Briggsy called. "They heard the explosion from a mile away. By the time they got there, it was completely burned out." "How many bodies?" "It was a fighter, apparently, so just the one. Blown to pieces, they say." "Poor chap." "You wouldn't say that if you had family in Bristol. Well over 100 dead, I heard. Morny's got a daughter over there. He told the men to skewer any crew they found on the spot." "Blown to bits or skewered by Morny. Some choice." Millie rested her head against the flank of the cow and listened to the rhythm of the milk squirting into the bucket. She used to find it soothing, but nowadays she couldn't stop her mind wandering back to the summer, working on her own in a fury because Jack had shut down again, unable to work, unable to drag himself out of bed. She shuddered at her own cruelty, tearing the covers off him to make him get up. "I can't," he said, reaching out weakly to pull the bedding back. "Can't means shan't," she said. He did get up eventually. He made it all the way down to the barn in Wigston Combe. On the other side of the valley, Hugh